So let me get this straight. Trump destroys Iran's nuclear targets with 0 American casualties, might I add. Iran fires back and misses completely. Now Democrats are screaming for Trump's impeachment? Yeah, this got to be good.
But they're afraid to come out and actively say that.
I'm sorry, Tudor, we got to get to this. We'll come back. We are getting reports Iran has launched 6 missiles over United States bases in Qatar. I'm looking now, major cases of GPS jamming in Qatar and other Gulf states. Iran is bombing Qatar. Let's bring in now Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin at the Pentagon. You and I started talking about this about more than an hour ago now. Are we where your sources are telling you that we thought we'd be? Have we gone someplace that we're at least prepared to deal with?
Well, Harris, right now, what we can tell from open source reporting on Twitter, you can see imagery of about what we're told from Israeli sources are 6 ballistic missiles that have been fired from Iran towards Qatar. As you know, as we discussed, the Al Udeid base, the largest U.S. Base in the Middle East, is about 40 miles from the capital of Qatar, from Doha. You can see the night skies over Doha right now, and there are explosions in the air. Some of those may be air defense missiles, Patriot missiles, trying to intercept those ballistic missiles. We have no indications of impact at this point. As you and I discussed before, there were satellite images from last week of Al Udeid, where the U.S. normally has a large number of transport planes, refueling planes, that those tarmacs had been emptied of those warplanes. But Al Udeid normally would have 10,000 U.S. troops based there. There had been warnings to U.S. embassy staff to shelter in place and at other embassies across Doha. We also now are learning that the airspace over UAE, the United Arab Emirates, where the United States military has another large military base, that airspace has been closed. And we also understand there could be an imminent threat to U.S. troops and personnel at bases in Iraq.
So not a single American life lost. And yet I'm going to show you how these Democrats somehow flipped that. They spent it and made it some whole other rhetoric. Now, on Iran's end, it's looked more like a PR stunt with explosives. So if no one was hurt, why do Democrats look like they're the ones taking the damage? I'm going to show y'all in the next clip. But first, before we dive a little bit deeper, I want you to understand that real attacks are happening, not only overseas, but right here at home. Aren't you tired of getting these spam calls and text messages? Do you even know why you're getting them in the first place? No worries, I'll explain. You see, these big tech companies, they are not doing a good job of protecting our data, keeping it safe at all. Like, they're not even trying, literally. Recently, Ticketmaster was hacked and over 500 million users' data was put up for sale on the dark web. And the reason they didn't inform you about this is because, according to them, this doesn't have a material impact on our company. So yeah, the stolen data, it includes full names, addresses, email addresses, your credit card info, and basically that makes them you. And in that case, you would want it to be spam instead of fraud, I'm telling you. And this is why I have to bring to your attention today the sponsor of this video, Aura.com. You see, Aura.com alerts me anytime my data is breached, giving me fast fraud alerts, and it removes my info from data broker websites to cut down on spam. And they also offer things like the VPN, transaction monitoring, antivirus protection. You also got parental controls and identity theft insurance, all in one affordable app, might I add. If my data was ever to be compromised again, I wouldn't even be in no type of worried state. You know why? Because I know Aura is in the background keeping me safe and protected, as well as your family for that matter. So in order to ensure that protection, please visit aura.com/kingdomreacts right now and get your first 2 weeks on us. And don't worry, I had a link available in the description for you. Now, while missiles were flying, this is what Letitia James posted. This is what she chose to post. Praying for our military and law enforcement personnel in harm's way. We mourn for the lives lost in recent days and pray for a quick end to this conflict and a lasting peace. But wait, who exactly is she mourning for? No Americans died in this exchange. So what is she really grieving? Or better yet, who is she grieving? I don't know if this sympathy or strategy, because it's starting to feel like she's trying to score points off a tragedy that never happened. I don't know, y'all. Meanwhile, Trump wasn't mourning. He was dropping bad news for both Iran and the media that tried to twist the story. The sites that we hit in Iran were totally destroyed, and everyone knows it. Only the fake news will say anything different in order to try and demean as much as possible. And even they say they were pretty well destroyed. Working especially hard on this falsehood is Allison Cooper of Fake News CNN. Dumb Brian L. Roberts, chairman of Concast. Johnny Carl of ABC Fake News. And always the losers of, again, Comcast, NBC's Fake News. It never ends with these sleaze bags in the media, and that's why their ratings are at an all-time low. Zero credibility. Hey, while the left is panicking, he was already 10 steps ahead. Yes, he was. Now, here we go. We got my guy, JD Vance right here. My fault, y'all. Just to end off of that last clip. Say what you want about Trump, man. He calls it how he sees it. Iran's nuclear facilities, they did get lit up. And the first thing the media is trying to do is defend Iran. I felt like I didn't give enough talking points before I just transitioned to here. Now I'm transitioning to here. And in case there was any confusion, Vice President J.D. Vance, he just cleared it up.
And the second thing is, Kristen, I certainly empathize with Americans who are exhausted after 25 years of foreign entanglements in the Middle East. I understand the concern, but the difference is that back then we had dumb presidents, and now we have a president who actually knows how to accomplish America's national security objectives. So this is not going to be some long, drawn-out thing. We've got in, we've done the job of setting their nuclear program back. We're going to now work to permanently dismantle that nuclear program over the coming years, and that is what the president has set out to do. Simple. And the second thing is,
he said it perfectly. This ain't war. This is a reset. Now, the only reason we were in an endless conflict before is because we had dumb presidents with no strategy. With no strategy. That was something you didn't expect. Now, this isn't funny, the situation overall, y'all. Come on now. Understand what I'm laughing within context now. So why is this the first time we get a targeted win and they decide they want to sabotage it somehow? So here comes the broken record, y'all. AOC demanding impeachment again. It's like it's a personal brand.
So AOC wants to impeach Donald Trump. AOC, did Biden's dementia rub off on you? Because this is what, the 20th impeachment attempt? And he already got impeached, and guess what? He was president again. But her reasoning this time is because that he had no authority to issue the Iran nuclear strikes. I don't know how the hell you got elected AOC if you skipped government. Do you not know that the president is the commander-in-chief? Also, do Democrats not realize that this shit would have happened under Kamala? The only difference is Kamala would have probably bombed a village or a city of innocent civilians instead of the actual nuclear facilities.
Considered to be our greatest adversary.
I think there's an obvious one in mind, which is Iran. Iran has American blood on their hands, okay? This attack on Israel, 200 ballistic missiles. What we need to do to ensure that Iran never achieves the ability to be a nuclear power, that is one of my highest priorities.
Scum!
Impeachment over this? I'm sure she didn't flinch when Obama dropped the B word for 8 years, and now she's acting like Trump's a war criminal. Come on, somebody tell me, what was this moral compass when Biden left civilians behind in Afghanistan? Now, let's rewind for a second. Because if we're talking about reckless military action, Obama's numbers make this look like a slap on the wrist. And they want to impeach Trump, the Post says. Drops bomb. I can't believe I said it. Declare war. Libya, 2011. Pakistan, 2009 from 2016. Yemen, 2009 to 2016. Somalia from 2009 to 2016. Iraq and Syria, 2014 to 2016. Libya. I think I said Liberia, excuse me. Libya, Yemen, Somalia, Pakistan, all under Obama. No war declaration, no congressional approval. But I don't remember AOC calling for his impeachment. Do you? It's all about legal precedent. Or who's holding the pen when the strike goes down, rather. And now they're trying to say Trump blindsided Congress. Y'all remember that yesterday? Caroline Leavitt. She was not having it.
Thomas Massie and the Democrats, he should be a Democrat because he's more aligned with them than with the Republican Party. We're given notice. The White House made calls to congressional leadership. They were bipartisan calls. In fact, Hakeem Jeffries couldn't be reached. We tried him before the strike, and he didn't pick up the phone, but he was briefed after, as well as Chuck Schumer was briefed prior to the strike. So this notion that CNN ran with at the White House did not give a heads up to Democrats is just completely false. In fact, both Senator Schumer's office and CNN had to retract that story last night because it was a blatant lie, and we showed them the timestamps from those phone calls. But I want to add something to Thomas Massie's false points. The White House was not obligated to call anyone because the president was acting within his legal authority under Article 2 of the Constitution as Commander-in-Chief of the President of the United States. We gave these calls as a courtesy, and the Democrats are lying about this because they can't talk about the truth of the success of that operation and the success of our United States military and the success of this president and this administration in doing something that past administrations, Democrats too, have only dreamed about.
So they weren't left out. Remember in the last video, we said that they were probably left out because they would have leaked information, which I still agree with. But they weren't left out. They just didn't answer the phone. And instead of owning it, they lied about it. They lied about not being warned. I'm saying, if anybody has spent something this simple, what else are they hiding about in this whole operation? Mm-hmm. Now, here's the cherry on top. Matt Gaetz literally predicted Iran's fake retaliation plan, word for word, days ago with Benny Johnson. Check this out.
The first thing Donald Trump ever told me, and I'm not nearly as close to him as you are, Matt, but first thing he ever told me in New Hampshire in 2015 was no more new wars, the end of the Bush doctrine. He yelled that at me out of the window of a moving car. Like, this is deep in the guy's bones.
Yes.
Right? And so I guess my question is this: how do we prevent escalation? How do you prevent this from spiraling? Because I just worry about this.
It's very simple. It's very simple. The way to prevent escalation is you rein in Israel, and then we have to construct some sort of face-saving theater with Iran, right? Like, let Iran go lob some missiles into some sand pit that's somewhere near a U.S. military base, not hurt anybody, and then, allow them to claim some sort of, phony retaliation. That's what happened after Soleimani. Like, you heard President Trump reference the precedent that he wanted to activate. So that's how you deal with Iran. But then Trump has to reiterate to Israel that they can't just go execute the supreme leader and then walk away. Like Mark Thiessen, who's not a high IQ person, who was in the Bush administration, just posted on Twitter that you don't have to buy it after you break it, that Colin Powell was wrong. You can just break it and walk away. What an insane thing to say. That puts Americans at risk of more of a permissive environment for terrorists. We do not want that to happen. And I think you're right. You're so right that the number one thing that is different about this administration as opposed to our first term is that the cabinet is fully aligned. They all are supporting President Trump. And so you don't have to like spend your day wondering whether or not Jeff Sessions was going to drop the ball or Jim Mattis was going to undermine the president. Like you have a really, really great team there.
It's got flashbacks, dude.
Yeah, well, and by the way, whenever anybody like wants to offer a criticism of Pam Bondi or Pete Hegseth, I'm like, do you remember the last ones that we had in these roles? Like, wait, you're mad that like Pam Bondi hasn't arrested half of the Democrat Congress yet, when like literally, Bill Barr was out there saying Donald Trump was somehow culpable for January 6th. So I think that we've made a lot of progress. I'm really proud of this team, and I think you're right. That has to give us some sense of calm. But at the end of the day, the only way I see us getting off of the path to another forever war in Iran is the pure strength of President Trump to deter Iran while at the same time restraining Israel. That is the dual track that saves us.
So it looked like he did call it. He called it, every part of it. Iran didn't want to fight. They wanted optics of a response. So let's break this down all one last time. Trump strikes with precision. Iran misses on purpose. No American lives lost. And Democrats, instead of celebrating a clean victory, I don't know, well, that victory in terms of American lives not being lost, they start screaming impeachment. Every time Trump does it right, man, they lose their grip. Stay smart, stay alert, and please don't fall for the panic. Y'all be safe. Please go check with somebody today. You could be saving their life. Peace.